With the help of a couple viewers of my own book, I conducted 3 case studies on a 5-day book promotion using a variety of book promotion services ranging in price. The idea was to see how many sales we could get passively without having to put in much effort. Just a heads up, if you're strapped for cash, visit dalelinks.com/bookpromos. This is a link of websites that has lists of free and premium book marketing services. You'll have to sift through the list to find the free ones, and there are no guarantees you'll get any sales. But when you're lacking the funds, something is often better than nothing at all. The first 2 case studies were projects I ran using Fiverr book marketing gigs for 2 short-form videos and a sponsorship. Unfortunately, the videos were so short that I couldn't fully share the process and additional insights from the authors. There was more to each of the case studies, so now is a good time to candidly share what we found. Just a heads up. Anytime I'm ordering gigs on Fiverr, I contact the seller ahead, especially for book promotion gigs. Sure, I can find all the details I need in a seller's description, but it's always a good idea to confirm some of those details. For book promotion gigs, I need to time it right so they promote on a given day of the week. Otherwise, all these gigs will fire off on the same day or miss a day in this run. Can we stack these promos? Sure, but we won't be able to truly tell what was effective for our books and what wasn't. If you plan to use any of these services, keep in mind your results may wildly vary from our results. So separate the promos you see who delivers the best for your needs. Then on future campaigns, you can go back to what worked, remove what doesn't, then potentially stack services you know will deliver more readers and sales. You can get the list of the Fiverr sellers when you visit my affiliate link at dalelinks.com/promos. Let me know in the comments how these gigs work out for you and if you try anyone worth noting. I worked with a relatively new romance author, S.L. Michaels, to promote her book, The Synesthete. I connected with S.L. Michaels through our community on YouTube where she expressed rather lackluster results from her debut novel. Since she's lacking the budget, she isn't able to afford running Amazon ads, so an inexpensive book promotion alternative like Fiverr seemed like the best fit. Now in this case study, she's going to be running a 99-cent promo on her title. Rather than dip back into Fiverr book promotion gigs we used before, I decided to try out some different sellers with Instagram and blog post pushes. But I wasn't willing to spend more than about $10 per gig because the point was to keep the cost low and see if it returns any results. On day 1, we worked with Jassykins to promote the book on her blog and social media accounts. With 45 positive reviews, I figured $5 was worth the gamble. She only needed about 3 days notice and delivered 4 different posts. Sadly, it produced no sales. Now on day 2, we work with Medea1995, who promotes your book on 2 Instagram accounts for $5. There were a lot of communication issues when I reached out to her initially, but we were able to finally get on the same page. Now she only requires about 2 days notice. So she created a nifty product placement video of an image for the Instagram Reels, getting it over 500 views, which seems pretty awesome, right? Sadly, it didn't equate to sales. Now for day 3, we tapped into Video Girl for You, where she promotes your book or Amazon Kindle ebooks on her blog, digitalbooknook.com, for $10. Side note, I found out she's also a viewer of this channel, so big shout out to her. So she required 2 to 3 days advance notice. The post looked clean and she even shared it on Twitter, getting a handful of shares. Sadly, it didn't net any sales. On day 4, we were looking for any victory, so Renee's Me Wolf offers to promote your book on Instagram for $5 and only needs about 3 days notice to get the job done. She created a pretty sweet looking image, like what we got with the Medea1995. Despite getting over 300 likes, the post failed to generate any book sales. Now on day 5, we were desperately hoping to get something out of the last gig. We worked with SA Design 4 to promote the book on her Instagram book blog for $10. SA Design 4 crafted a great image like a couple of the previous gigs, wrote a long-form post about the book, and shared the post on her stories with a direct link to Amazon. And hallelujah, we got 2 sales. I know. So for $35, we got a grand total of 2 sales. I'm not going to directly blame the sellers. They're merely offering a spotlight on their stage. Whether or not their audience buys isn't their fault necessarily. I wouldn't dismiss their services as invalid, but we can all agree they just weren't a good fit for selling S.L. Michaels' romance book. Sadly, she didn't see any residual effects from those promotions.
Going into it, I was hoping to get a little bit more sales than I've had in the past. What I did like, of course, was I got 2 sales, so that was really awesome.
Yeah.
I love you love getting the sales to see that happening. I guess any author would. I think what I didn't like was maybe if they could have had a little bit more, maybe for other than just one area of promotion. Maybe do other areas like TikTok or something to that effect.
I'm really genuinely curious if any authors have found success with these types of book marketing gigs. If you used any of these sellers, what was your experience? And speaking of book promotions, check out the next video in this 3-part case study here and the last part here. One of these book promotions is going to blow your mind, so I'll see you there.